instead I want to wrap up those two pieces, the vision of how cloud and all these new devices can change the game, the products we already have, and how we can bring this together. And I call that Agile Retail Appliance Solutions with the help of Novell. Let's start with a quick view at where we are at the moment. The sweet spot for this SUSE Linux Enterprise Point of Service solution is up here. Large businesses, lots of stores, and those stores are huge. So what I call the L category, large stores, large companies. That's where we are at home. We started with projects in Germany like Karstadt, and others followed. We want to evolve into all these other dimensions. So this would be companies that have smaller stores, but lots of them. Let's say the Gap, where a typical store just has one cash register, but they have lots of those in the shopping malls everywhere. So they don't need branch service and stuff like that, but they need to manage all those hundreds of thousands of cash register devices. And those would be large stores like fashion retailers that are just in five locations or so. Maybe the rest of what's of Woolworth would be a good example in the UK, or in Germany, in southern Germany, Brownies or so, large retailers, or fashion retailers. And then there's the small and very small stores, and those two we can address somehow. Those are hard to address by us because it's, we don't have the channel for that. We can't talk to individual customers here. It's just too many, and the sweet spot for making direct business for us is somewhere in the range of $500,000 or $1 million or so deal size, and this wouldn't work out here. So how do we want to go there? And we want to work with ISVs and IHVs as partners here. First of all, solution bundles. Thinking of an appliance that comes with the OS bundled with the application, or even the hardware and services around that. And the other thing is cloud solutions. That's what I mentioned before. So in such a cloud solution that could be targeted at very small retailers, they need something to boot up their machine. They need a USB stick or so to bootstrap, and then they can go online. And we also offer solutions for the cloud provider to actually run these systems. And how does it all work together? And how does this tie into what we're already doing with SUSE Linux Enterprise Point of Service? First of all, we're introducing this idea of a workload. A workload would be a package in our definition that comes with the operating system, the database, the application layer, Java in most cases, and the actual point of service application. This can be on the server side, and on the right hand we see typical client setup. And Novell as a whole is working at a strategy we call intelligent workload management, which is primarily focused at virtualization, cloud environments, these 4 dimensions, building these images, securing those, managing and measuring it. But it ties in very well into the retail space. And actually the cool thing about it is that the technology that we're using here is exactly the same that we've always been using in point of service for building these images in the Sleepos solution. I think I can skip this one for now. Just go on a bit further. One part of these new tools that Novell is offering, and that will be tied into the retail story, is SUSE Studio, which is an online service where you can build your own Linux images. And this is also available on site, so you can buy the solution either as an ISV, you can partner with us and use the tool to build images that are then used to deliver software together with the OS to your partners, to your customers. Or you can also use that as an end user to customize your images in large store environments. Why use SUSE Studio? SUSE Studio is the fastest way to build supported versions SUSE Linux Enterprise that are optimized for your particular workload, so you can really strip them down, make them very secure, tighten them up, get hardened systems that are replicable, so you can take an update, put it into the system, rebuild the recipe, and you get the same just with the updated code. And testing facilities built in, so right in the tool you can test drive those images before rolling out. The number of packages can be limited, so this is really very fine-grained, but as it comes with templates, it can still be very easy to use. And then you can share these appliances. The idea for retail would be that it's a 2 or 3 step process, so the ISV can use images that we will build, for example, together with IBM that already come with the Java pods, with the drivers pre-installed. Then the ISV can take those, add their own application, offer them again for evaluation purposes first. And then larger customers would take the template and change them. And smaller customers down the road in a channel would just use these prefabricated images. So what Novell wants to focus on going forward is really to address this lower end market where we have very small retailers that we can't address directly, that we can only address through ISV partners, through hardware partners. We want to use all the technology that we have already, help you deploy, update and maintain stable and secure operating system platforms for point of sales in that appliance form factor. Anywhere, basically anywhere, from the point of service to the cloud, over any connection. That means that we will add technology to Sleepos that helps you, do updates even if the connection is very, very low bandwidth or it breaks up regularly. It's just a mobile connection. We make sure that you can still get your updates out, keep your machine secure, and this is really from the point of service to the data center or in public cloud. So Novell doesn't want to get into the business of writing point of service applications. We don't want to take any business from the ISVs. We are not in the hardware business, but I think we can bring a lot of technology into this equation that helps you do your job better, have a strong, solid platform, and keep this platform up to date, secured, so your customers are PCI compliant or compliant to whatever regulation they are focusing on. And this all at a very low TCO. So let me wrap this up. Retail IT solutions for the generation iPhone. Of course, we cannot compete with the cool iPhone, Macintosh, whatever, but we can offer alternatives with solid Linux technology on standard hardware, on standard retail hardware, standard retail ISV platforms, and still bring down TCO, make things more agile, more flexible, move things around. And I think this is going to be something that can help you all drive business even through those disruptive changes.